And here's Nikos in Mykonos. He's our taxi driver, and taxis win every time, right, Nikos?
Yes, good.
See you later, loser! Max, where did you get your hat? What do you call this? George's Castle?
Yeah.
Ramen. It's the oldest suburb in the world. We are in Greece. Such is the intense heat coming off the land when passing over the deserts of Saudi Arabia, the plane can swell to nearly half the size of Africa, as seen by this satellite photo. I'm on my way to Greece, home to the Eros, tax evasion, and Aristotle, the refuter of flat earth theory. Not that this guy agrees. Of Greece's 6,000 islands, 227 are inhabited, but we're going to visit 2. First stop, Mykonos. No prize for guessing how many flat earthers live on Mykonos. It's 7. Now I promise that is the last unsubstantiated claim I make on this show. Most people have donkeys in their backyard in Mykonos. It's pretty standard. Every house has a donkey. More from me and the donkey shortly. But first, a little on Mykonos. This is a travel show after all. Well, ish. Google gave me a long list of why so many Greek buildings are white. It's on the flag, it reflects the sun's heat, it's where the white supremacists live, but none of these are right. The white walls are perhaps former Prime Minister Ioannis Metaxas's best legacy. He decreed all walls to be painted with the antibacterial limestone-based paint in the fight against cholera in the 1930s. That's him there. Turns out the best way to fight cholera is to only use clean water and avoid eating raw seafood and poo, together or separately. But don't the white walls look great? I say well done, Ioannis. You might as well make the most of your jet lag on your first day by getting up really early and going for a bit of a walk. I'm here with my friend, what's your name again? Anyway, he just calls me. In Mykonos, forget about the car. You can't drive your car in Mykonos because, well, there's no room for them. They're not allowed to be in. You have to take your car and park it outside the village and then walk into the old town. If you stay up above the village, you've got this little walk down about 150,000 steps. Apparently it's 700 metres. Seems like a bit longer on the way up, but coming down's fine. As I come down these steps, I can hear, perhaps it's not a nice quiet morning like I thought, I can hear the people that perhaps haven't been to bed yet and don't really know that the night has ended and it's time to actually go and get some sleep. Fortunately for that cafe owner, there are hungry stray cats everywhere, all looking for a free feed. I did see I saw a hornswoggled woman petting a stray cat. I, however, found the Mykonos cats, of which there are many, to be primarily motivated by personal gain. Whitey here was one of the bravest, biding his time, not yet, plotting revenge. And if you really, really, really love cats, you can sponsor one of the 50,000 felines on this island by heading to mykonoscats.org. What's that? Now back to our standoff. Just gotta get the timing right. Now, yeah, who's your daddy? Now, being the big researcher I am, I can tell you that this is Manto Mavroginas Square that I'm just walking behind me here. And this is the front where the people gather in the night in their millions. Here's a shot of them now. Princess Manto Mavroginas, or Madge, when not funding ships and infantry, loved Doritos and heroin. she was a heroine of the Greek War of Independence in the 1820s. However, when she wasn't at war, she did love to sit down with a nice bowl of Doritos and a bong.
It's quite difficult to get lost in Mykonos because every few metres there's a sign that tells you where you are. It's always here, obviously. The place to go when you're in Mykonos is the little windmills in Little Venice and Little Windmills. So I'm currently walking through Little Venice and on my way to the Little Windmills. On my way to the little windmills. The little windmills are just up here. I feel like I've been here before. Here we are, some steps.
Sometimes it's best just to move on to something easier to find.
Okay, so you've been out, you've got your tattoo, you've had your breakfast, and you're thinking about what are we going to do tonight? Well, what I'd really like to do is go to a Scandinavian disco, but it's a difficult thing to find. A Scandinavian disco really is the place to go when you are anywhere in the world, but it's really tough to find one.
What do you reckon, Max? Should we get away from the cats for a bit?
It's anything goes here on the bus. You can talk on the phone, have a cigarette, whatever you like, even if you're driving.
While not necessarily the safest way to get around, the bus is as good an option as any. But if you're going to risk your life, it better be for something good. The blue water, the pink bougainvilleas, even the weeds look good here. Where is here? Sorry, I promised the busy owner of this place I wouldn't say.
This little church overlooking the beach is quite amazing. It's away from the wind and you can see down here, it's just absolutely beautiful. I feel like there might be a little bit of history to this place and you get the feeling there would have been plenty of celebrations here. Weddings, birthdays, no doubt many solemn occasions too, and what a place to celebrate someone's life. Max is here. You might remember Max from Bali. Here he was in Bali.
Very slimy. What was I doing in Bali?
You touched that fish.
Ah, yeah. I've seen a couple around here. They're a bit smaller though, no koi fish.
So there's fish here?
Yeah.
All right. So Charlie likes to make a big entrance from these two. We could learn a little bit about Mykonos. Tell us, what's the history of Mykonos?
Once upon a time, there was actually this old bloke, Hercules, and he slayed some of the giants, and their bodies are buried underneath Mykonos.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And that's why there's the volcanoes erupt here sometimes. That's like the bodies being a bit angry about being killed, and you can't blame them, really.
And is that true, Charlie?
That's all true, yeah.
Angry slain giants causing volcanic eruptions. Is there a better spot to ponder such things? All good things must come to an end, but before we leave Mykonos, perhaps one more search in those wonderful alleyways.
A long walk back. Everyone I meet, everyone's friendly, everyone makes you feel welcome. The little windmills. The little windmills. There they are. I told you I knew the way. It's time to leave Mykonos. Listen. That's the sounds of the village of Romanastiri here on Crete. And after a long travel day, this is a fantastic place to end up.
Romanastiri is a short drive up a windy road just behind that tree there. Like the town of Mykonos, cars don't come into the town, so it's a bit like stepping back in time.
It's so peaceful here.
The founder of Romanastiri, Georgios Kyriakos Panayiotou, had a beautiful singing voice, and this statue is what locals believe he would have looked like had he not passed away at such a tragically young age.
I'm in what was no doubt a house for a family in Romanastiri at some point in the past. It's obviously a ruin, there's no doors or windows. There's still a coolness in here. These walls, they're so thick. And these old places have been divided, so you can see behind me the house that's been kept up beautifully, and then right next to it is the ruin that I just walked through. And as families hand down those houses, depending on the number of children, the house would be divided into that number. And the tradition of families coming and spending their 3 months or 1 month of summer here continues.
It's pretty easy to see why families, perhaps based in Athens, keep coming back every summer. Believe it or not, I've been accused of making some stuff up. So let's get some locals to do some fact-checking for us.
When you're going around a village like Romanastiri, sometimes you find some interesting little creatures. I found a papadakis. This is Kay Papadakis. How are you, Kay?
I'm good, thank you. How are
good?
you? Yeah.
And sometimes when you find a papadakis, you find another one. Hello, Lefteri.
Hello.
We are sitting outside your place. Now, can you
Yeah.
tell me a little bit of the history of this place?
So this house belonged to Lefteri's parents and grandparents before that. Because there were two sons, when the old people died, they separated and we got half, but there's another half behind. And they gave a little bit, which was the stable, they gave it to one of the aunties.
Just let me get some noddies.
Sorry, our moronic editor was supposed to put these noddies in while she was talking.
This is high-tech production.
Oh my God.
So when it's time for you to hand it on, you're going to cut it into three
No, we're going to give it to one of our children. But my children...
Which one?
Well, this is the big problem, isn't it? We don't know yet.
They're holding that over their children. They have
Yes.
to be very good to them.
That's it.
Is that right?
The children have to be wonderful, otherwise they get nothing.
How old is the village? Maybe you could...
Bosongonando.
Bosangonando village.
500 years old.
500 years old. That is almost as old as Adelaide. We've enjoyed the taverna up here for dinner.
Yep.
And there seems to be a lot of cats and a lot of children.
We're trying to get rid of both, but not having much luck.
How many people are in the village here?
There's about 30 families where the children go to school but in the next village. But in the summer, all the people that live in Athens come here and bring our children, our grandchildren, and there's always about 60 children.
60 children. And do they have a truck that sort of scoops them up and like that,
Perhaps you could arrange that for
that
us.
movie Soylent Green, and they made them into food?
It's fair to say the conversation deteriorated from this point on, and the producers wish to advise that eating children is neither legal nor enjoyable.
It's a strange kind of phase when you let go. Let your life flow like a river.
Crete has about 100 swimmable beaches. They're called blue flag beaches. And this one is a cracker.
On the corner, oh yeah.
Preveli Beach has this river. You can walk up a path and then just float back down the river to the ocean.
Trying to hide it. Working so hard to keep it together.
There's 3 ways to get to Preveli Beach: by boat, or you can walk along the top of the cliffs from this side behind me, or there's a path up this way as well. If you are a swimmer, all you need to do is head off in that direction and swim the 12,000 Ks and you'll be back in Sydney in no time.
Compared to walking on these pebbles into the water, swimming to Sydney should be a cinch.
Maybe the day will
It is busy in the morning from 10 till maybe 2:30. Right now it's 5 o'clock and there's virtually nobody here. And it just struck me, I thought, where is everybody? They're asleep.
Contrary to mainstream belief, the siesta originated in ancient Rome, and today sleeping in the middle of the day is common in the Mediterranean, Latin American and Asian countries, and in the bedrooms of gap-year teenagers worldwide. The word siesta comes from the Latin sexta, and no, it isn't a text to use for drawing pictures like this. The sexta hora, meaning the 6th hour after dawn, is the ideal time for a nap. When everyone's asleep, it's also the ideal time to vandalise the joint.
Now when it comes to graffiti, there's art and there's shart.
Graffiti is everywhere here, and I'm told much of it is political. Even without knowing the language, you can see the arguments playing out on the walls.
Perhaps that is the most apt bit of graffiti I've seen. Art is war.
A lot of people get pretty annoyed about this stuff, and while I don't agree that it all falls within the definition of art, I reckon a graffitied wall is way more interesting than a plain one. Some of this stuff is pretty cool, and I reckon I could even do some.
Now there are small shops here. You've seen there are small shops and bars in Tokyo, but I think I found the smallest shop in Crete. I'm here with Pavlina. Is this the smallest shop in Rethymno?
I think it's the smallest shop in Rethymno.
And what's the name of the shop here?
Anais.
Anais.
Yes, it's a Greek muse.
Another very nice Greek muse, Nana Mouskouri, reached extraordinary heights of popularity in Greece, but also internationally. I remember listening to one of her 200 albums at my Uncle Ted's place one Christmas in the late 70s. Everyone who met Ted liked him, despite his Nana Mouskouri obsession. Ted was also a big fan of Demis Roussos and Vasilis Papakonstantinou.
These little alleyways are so inviting. You look down, you can't help but walk down them. I'm here with Simon from Kangaroo Island, who is excellent at spotting a good bargain of things you really need in Greece. What have you found, Simon?
This baby.
Simon came across this unique wooden penis, an absolute bargain at only €7. Later on, he could not believe I'd actually bought one. If you missed your siesta, a good sugar hit could be just the ticket to get you through the rest of the day.
Mikpakiatiko Bakery. Did I get that right?
Μικρασιάτικο.
Mikpakiatiko.
No mikpa. Μικρά, κρά. Μικρασιάτικο.
Mikrasiatiko. We're at Mikrasiatiko Bakery, and this place is unbelievable. I'm here with my friend Lefteri. Say hello, Lefteri.
Hello.
This place has got lots of yummy stuff.
Mama knows how to wake you up. Mama knows how to wake you up. Mama knows how to wake you up. Mama. Mama knows how to wake you up. Mama knows how to wake you up. Mama knows how to wake you up. Mama.
Yummy.
You realized you're not in control. Once again, tell you once again.
And of course, there's nothing better to have when you're having some bakery sweets than raki.
Is it just me, or is this music way too big for this bit? It's just a bakery.
Yummy!
Yamas! That means cheers, but it always has the word yum in it, so I think it should be for food as well. Now, I was here 20 years ago at the Vagina supermarket, but back then I thought that's what it was called, but it's Virgina. So let's go in and have a look.
They say small things amuse small minds, so my mind must be tiny, because I reckon supermarkets here are basically amusement parks. Where else can you drink a can of hell?
Choices. What do you think, Max? 6 or 4?
Well, 6 is 6, so that's obviously more. I'd go for the 6-pack.
But the 4s are bigger.
I think they're 500ml, 330. What's 6 times 330?
No dog's life is complete without frolic.
Times 3
6 times 330, 6
is
3 is 18.
Super Rondo, fulfilling pleasure.
6, 7,800. 7 litres versus 2. You wouldn't think they'd be that different. 7 litres, 2 litres. One of each. 9 litres. This is candy beer, but I'm after something a bit candier. Can you help me there?
With candy beer?
No, I've already got some candy beer. I want some candier beer.
Candier beer?
Yeah, candier than what we've got.
Yeah, there's Mythos. I heard that's pretty candy.
I need something even candier.
Even candy.
Do you know, is there any candier beer?
I'm a bit lost.
That looks candier. Yeah, extremely immature, that's not going in.
Damn it! Well, it's beer o'clock, so that's just about all we've got time for, even though we've barely touched the surface of this place. But by now, you should know that that was going to happen.
Rumour has it that the fountain is actually a lot better with the tap on. So you've got your spray paint, you want to say something, think about it. Free Palestine. Whoops. Make sure you've got enough room. How do I say that in Greek? Sibling.
A brother or a sister. He was a brother of the.
That's not Greek, is it? In the shopping district, we're in the old part of the town. What are we looking for in the shopping district, Jessie?
We're looking for some dinosaur teeth.
The question that everyone wants to know is, who cuts hair in the village?
There is a hairdresser.
A hungry but quite uneducated whale was here earlier, turned away, very disappointed indeed. Everyone in the village is related, I understand. Everyone's related.
Just about,
everyone.
yeah.
Even Leftetti and I are related, aren't we?
No. Beton Italy.
Yes.
You need the right answer.
Yes, and we have traced back the lineage, and here it is.